Nosotros no queremos que nos impongan un gobierno yanqui. Nosotros somos libres y soberanos. Nosotros somos un pueblo con garantías en la Constitución bolivariana. Somos un pueblo libre y soberano. Donald Trump no se va a quedar con nuestro petróleo. Rubio no nos va a gobernar. Nosotros tenemos un presidente y una vicepresidenta que asumen por ahora, pero nuestro presidente es Nicolás Maduro.
On January 3rd, the US attacked Venezuela and captured Maduro. Here is the world's reaction. Venezuela rejected the US claim, calling it military aggression and a violation of national sovereignty. Colombia called an urgent meeting of the United Nations Security Council. Cuba strongly condemned the US action, calling it a criminal act of aggression. US lawmakers raised concerns over legal authority and congressional approval. Moscow denounced the strike as illegal under international law, accusing US of regime change. Iran condemned the operation, said it as a violation of sovereignty and a dangerous precedent. Germany said it was closely monitoring the situation with great concern and set up a crisis team. Spain is trying to mediate and calling for de-escalation, offering diplomatic avenues amidst crisis. Italy expressed concern for Italian citizens in Venezuela, activating crisis response mechanisms.
Hey, Brian, that's right. Well, this morning, the UN Secretary General released a statement saying he is deeply concerned that international law may not have been respected. As you mentioned, global leaders are watching as all of this unfolds to see what comes next for Venezuela and U.S. foreign policy. In Europe, the European Council president released a statement, Antonio Costa, and he said he was following the developments with, quote,
we're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure.
And the world is still reacting, with major leaders expressing their opposition to the attack. Russia has condemned the incident as an act of aggression against Venezuela. The Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs said, in the current situation, it is important to prevent further escalation. China's foreign ministry said Beijing was deeply shocked and strongly condemns the act, saying it is firmly opposed to such behavior by the USA. The UK Prime Minister said Britain considers Maduro an illegitimate leader and expressed support for a transition to democracy. Now, in the USA, Senator Bernie Sanders lambasted President Trump. He said once again, Trump has shown his contempt for the rule of law. He said the President of the United States does not have the right to unilaterally take his country to war. Now, the French President Emmanuel Macron said Maduro had gravely undermined the dignity of the Venezuelan people and called for a democratic transition. The European Commission's president said she's also following developments closely, stressing that any solution must respect international law.
Reaction is pouring in from around the globe after the U.S. carried out what the Trump administration has described as a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres emphasizing the importance of international law, saying he is deeply alarmed by the recent escalation as it sets a dangerous precedent. Colombia's President Gustavo Petro, too, strongly condemned the U.S. action, calling for an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council and the Organization of American States. Cuba's President Miguel Díaz-Canel, a staunch supporter of Maduro, is calling for the international community to respond to what he has described as a criminal attack. Russia's foreign ministry is condemning the act, saying Venezuela must be guaranteed the right to determine its own destiny without outside intervention. Germany's foreign ministry says it's watching the situation with great concern and is in close contact with its embassy in Caracas. Meanwhile, Argentina's leader Javier Milei has praised his ally Donald Trump, taking to social media saying, "Long live freedom."
Como lo hemos manifestado, nosotros condenamos cualquier intervención y nos guiamos por lo que establece la Constitución. Esto es más allá incluso de la presidencia de Maduro. Tiene que ver con la política internacional, la ley internacional, las leyes internacionales, y tiene que ver con principios muy claros de la política exterior mexicana que nosotros defendemos. Y en ese marco es nuestra declaración de condena a esta intervención y vamos a seguir evaluando y a seguir pues manifestándonos en este sentido en los siguientes días.
Cuba condena y denuncia esas acciones como un acto de terrorismo de Estado, un asalto criminal contra nuestra América, zona de paz, una violación de la soberanía de una nación que es símbolo de independencia, dignidad y solidaridad, y un ataque inaceptable al derecho internacional. No, señores imperialistas, este no es su patio trasero ni territorio en disputa. No aceptamos ni reconocemos la doctrina Monroe, ni reyes ni emperadores trasnochados. La tierra de Bolívar es sagrada y un ataque a sus hijos es un ataque a todos los hijos dignos de nuestra América.
Well, I want to establish the facts first. I want to speak to President Trump. I want to speak to allies. As I say, I can be absolutely clear that we were not involved in that. And as you know, I